Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
First, we want to thank our sponsors today, Chief Graphics and J&R Landscaping, for being a part of our broadcast and supporting high school sports as well as Varsity Media. We thank you for joining us here today, live from Manhasset High School. I'm Kevin Bunk, joined by my partner Mike Nelson. We were here on Saturday, and now we're back for the matchup today between Manhasset and Syosset. Manhasset fell to Darien on Saturday here, so they're looking to get a win and get back into that win column. And for Syosset, 3-3 early on the season, looking to get above 500 today. Mike, in that game on Saturday against Darien, what'd you see from Manhasset?
I saw a very young team still trying to, figure their way out and trying to, get their stuff together and really figure out who they are. For both of these teams, both young, both early in the season for them, and for some of these guys early in their careers.
Let's take a look at the impact players here for Syosset. Guys that you're going to have to circle today if you're watching the game. It starts on offense with Gio Accardo. You also have Will Cawley back on defense. When you look at these two players, start with Accardo there up front. What do you see from those guys?
Well, they're going to lean on Accardo for sure. He's still, a young guy, still a junior attackman. But Will Cawley, really on the defensive side, he's going to be the leader on the field. He's kind of, keeps everybody settled and dictates the way they play.
On the other side, Manhasset's got some guys to counter that. They have a great pair of attackmen of their own, Connor Sheeran, Marco Petrozelli. These young players, how can they impact the game?
I think without these two guys, Manhasset really would be in a lot of trouble. So it's good, during their growing pains and they're kind of, figuring stuff out. Those are two guys that have kept them basically, in the games.
And Sheeran, you see already with 12 goals this year, and for Petroselli, 14 goals, 9 assists, having a monster start to the season. And we can take a look now at the starters for Syosset. It's not just those two guys, of course. It's going to be a full group, and it starts up front with Brody Waxer, Gio Accardo, and Matt Antonaggi. And then you go to the midfield, Nick Turner, Josh Chung, Matt Azevedo, and then also the long stick there, Evan Ostreiger. Back on D, it's going to be Will Cawley, Jeremy Mallon, Cole Casanova, and Josh Weisenfield in goal. And on the other side, or back for them, the guy they're protecting is going to be Josh Weisenfeld. Mike, a really good goalie.
Josh comes with a very good reputation. He's solid in the cage. Even he's still a junior, so future looks bright for him.
And leading them is going to be their coach.
Yeah, we're ready.
Take a look at that afterwards. So we'll take a quick break here, and then on the other side, it'll be time for Manhasset versus Syosset on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media @VarsityMedia.
Very good.
And back live here for Manhasset and Syosset, just moments away. Once again, I'm Kevin Bunk, joined by my partner Mike Nelson. We thank you for joining us again here on Varsity Media this morning. And we'll take a look here at the Manhasset starting lineup. We saw him in action on Saturday. We get to see him again. It starts Danny Cullen, Connor Shear, and Marco Petroselli up front. Daniel O'Connor, Dylan Shear, Tommy Leader, and Lachlan Fitzpatrick will man the middle. And then back on D, Arik Cellura, Colin Kelly, Michael DePietro, and in goal is going to be Brady Balch for Manhasset. So we had the change. It was supposed to be Griffith. He's now missing 2 games. What'd you see from Brady on Saturday?
I saw Brady as a young guy who kind of had to jump into it, like on short notice. And, I think he's looking to bounce back today from playing against a really tough Darien team.
And he gets more of a notice, you'd imagine, for this game, and he's more prepared. A few days now to get into it, including yesterday's practice. And it's spring break for these two teams, so both of them certainly looking to start that with a win. You see Keith Cromwell here. We'll talk about him throughout the broadcast, one of the lacrosse legends that are coaching here, and how can he play a role in his team bouncing back today.
I think when you have two young teams like Manhasset and Syosset, who better than to run these organizations and grow up with these guys than Coach Cromwell and Coach Calabria? I think they're both right now. They both have the kind of same challenge, but they one thing is they both have a huge amount of respect for each other, and it'll be interesting to see how these two teams face each other in the future.
And both teams are at midfield there, so we'll take a look at the keys to the game presented by both coaches. And Mike Syosset, Coach is telling me they want to play as a team. They want to worry about themselves. How does that play in for a young team early in the year?
I think when you have a new mixture of people that aren't familiar with each other, that's really important to kind of get the gel and be more cohesive.
And then you have he's looking for more success on ground balls, and he said they need to up their game day intensity. He doesn't think the team is creating an atmosphere that really harbors that this is an event. This is not just another day. How can you push that into a young team's minds?
I think they have to grow with that young team. The aggressiveness will come, the physicality will come. Still, it's all part of the growing process.
And for Manhasset, same keys as Saturday that we saw, but they need to adjust to the shot clock, they need to win their face-offs, and they need to work on their clearing game. And we'll take a look here at the face-offs. And Coach has been switching it around early in the season. And you'll see out there to take it, just getting a look, it's another change for Manhasset actually in the face-off circle.
Right, still two young guys. I don't remember the last time I was at a varsity game where two freshmen faced off against each other. But I anticipate there be many changes today.
So Syosset nearly had first possession, a collision on the sideline right away.
So there's Syosset kid, as we just spoke about, being aggressive on the ground balls and being a little more physical. So maybe that point was driven home by Coach Calabria.
With it now for Manhasset is Daniel O'Connor, a.k.a. Doc.
He had a pretty good game against Darien on Saturday.
Now Colin has it back to O'Connor. Those two guys definitely a part of making this whole thing go. Here's Leader, another one as well.
O'Connor, a senior, and Leader, a junior. This team has been leaning on them for leadership.
Colin looked to push there, but good defense. Kept him out under 30 on the shot clock. So here's Colin. He makes a run, going to his left. Nice move now behind the crease. Never was able to get a shot. Now good setup in front, but couldn't handle it. Colin gets it right back, puts it on and in to get the game started.
I think that's real important for Manhasset to kind of get the jump and get their game going very early today.
Take another look at this one.
Here you go, Colin carrying the ball around after a ground ball pickup and going top side and beating the goalie far side.
That's Josh Weisenfeld. 52
Josh
saves on the year so far. Having a terrific start to the season. One of the better goalies you'll find in these games, but gives up the first one here. And how about Colin takes it, matters into his own hands. He had a nice setup for Palumbo, who couldn't handle it. Palumbo, another guy, had a really good game Saturday and a key player for them offensively. But Colin scoops it up and just goes to work on his own.
I think Colin had it in his mind that I'm going to pick this ball up and I'm going to make a strong lefty move and I'm going to make something happen here.
Here he is again, Danny Colin, moving to his right, looking to get his team off on the right foot. He's definitely bringing that game day intensity to start this one. Now Petroselli has it, sends it back out to O'Connor. Leader moving to his left, takes a check, sends it back.
Already it seems like Manhasset seems much more relaxed from their last game.
Last game, a real, buzzsaw of a veteran team. And Darien comes through here with a lot of Big East commits, really talented players. And Manhasset handled themselves pretty well for most of the game. Now I think they're looking to take those positives and put it towards a win today.
Yeah, the game on Saturday there was a lot. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of runs on both teams, a lot of herky-jerky stuff, and they seem a little more settled today. So maybe the game against Darien kind of, gave them that experience.
You're Sheeran with it. And we get a whistle from the referee. I think that maybe to check the clock, possibly. I'm not sure. But either way, 13 on the shot clock, so they're going to have to get moving here. Quickly, that one in to Leader.
We'll see the shot clock come into play early here.
Got to get one off.
Yep, very short.
And that'll be the expiration on the shot clock. So the guys there weren't really adjusted. I don't think that they acknowledged that it didn't reset when it went out of bounds.
Yeah, the time ran out on them, but it looked like Syosset did a good job of denying what they were looking for.
And when you miss wide, I think a lot of teams here are struggling all over Long Island. When you miss wide, just comprehending the shot clock does not reset. Good defense there.
And all the time spent chasing the ball behind that comes off your clock.
Michael DePietro with some good defense. And now with it and advancing. Shear has it. And now gives it up for Colin. Colin straight run, now kicks it out. Shot. It's going to go outside.
I'm not going to say it again, Kev, on the outside shots, all right, like I did last Saturday. But
I thought it, and if you were with us Saturday, you know. You're thinking it too.
But Wiesenfeld did a good job covering the pipe and not giving anything to shoot at. We can have fun, right?
Always. Good run here. A shot. It's going to go wide. That was Will Cawley, who we mentioned as a defensive player, defensive leader, long pole back there for Syosset, and he takes it full length of the field, puts a shot just wide.
He's a big physical kid, too, so his presence is going to be all over the field today.
Turner gives up top. And Josh Chung has it now back over to Nicholas Turner. Brody Waxer has it, one of the most dangerous players that this Syosset team has to offer when it comes to goal scoring and creating on offense. Antonacci has it. Spins right to left. Good defense here, though.
Looks like they've assigned Colin Kelly, number 18, junior, to kind of shadow Waxer. So that'll be his job for today.
Here's Turner.
And a challenge.
Driving, can't get anything, though. How about the defense from Lachlan Fitzpatrick? Fitzpatrick with it now. Scoops up that ground ball. Good physical play. Fitzpatrick indoors, and that's a great defensive possession by Manhasset.
Manhasset brought the intensity today. Much different from Saturday.
They come the other way looking to push it.
Those tough games give you experience, and it looks like it already kind of set in for them.
O'Connor to Colin. Colin to Leader. Leader with space. Steps towards the middle, puts it on, and that's going to be the first save of the day for Josh Wiesenfeld. We get a flag.
Nice stop for Wiesenfeld. It looked like the Syosset bench was a little unsettled on their substitutions there. They have to try to avoid that. 30-second foul.
Wiesenfeld will face a man advantage here. He'll be against it. Jericho transfer last year. It took him 4 or 5 games, Coach said, to really get used to the speed. But once he did, it just all clicked for him, and he's been terrific. And Coach and the entire team here really high on their goaltender.
So Syosset a little bit of a step up from the Jericho in their competition, but it looks like Josh has accustomed himself to it well.
Manhasset looking to capitalize that pass. He's going to end up with Wiesenfeld. And now he looks to clear as he
man down clear here. Look for the short stick from Josh. Nice job.
Romanello gets it across. Here's Ostrager.
Possibly an early timeout here, but Syosset able to get out of the jam. Failure to advance.
So that's a failure to advance there, as you heard it from Mike. Evan Ostrager was the one with the ball. And once again, just really good defense from Manhasset in transition there. They're showing a lot of the things we saw in those good stretches from Saturday, but so far putting it together right out of the gate and hoping to do it for the entire game
So
here.
once Manhasset puts together a full game, a full 48-minute game, they're going to be dangerous.
Nice save on that shot. The attempt was from Philip Palumbo, and of course, Josh Wiesenfeld, the quick reaction.
Nice catch and release. Nice stop by Josh being ready for that shot. That could be the type of shot that gets him going.
Disk had it, got rid of it, and now heads off as stepping in for him, Nicholas Turner with the ball. Now running is Chung. He pulls it back out, and Brody Waxer has it.
So I think Manhasset, is making a really good effort to kind of protect Brady a little bit better than they did, against Darien. Different levels of competition, but they're so far so good.
Waxer turns, puts it high, ends up far corner out of bounds.
That's really good defense by Colin Kelly. He's staying on his hands and not giving him anything to work with.
And you mentioned it, the way that Kelly's shadowing Waxer, most dangerous player on this Syosset team. Obviously an adjustment Keith Cromwell made from the Darien game, now having somebody actually shadow a top player.
That's his assignment, to just go wherever Brody goes.
There's possibly the first good look, but that check will change that as the shot goes wide. Good defense from Michael DePietro there. Syosset still has it, 5 on the shot clock, though. Antonacci has it, loses it.
So I think Syosset's going to have to make an adjustment to figure out how they're going to handle having their star offensive player shut off. Sometimes you either take him out of the play and play 5-on-5, or you get him involved in the pick game and hope you can get him open that way.
It's an early test for Syosset and Coach Calabria. Here's a quick rush and a pole goal for Will Cawley.
There's Will Cawley being all over the field again and being a presence. I think he's gonna, they're gonna have to keep an eye on him. Here he goes. When you're a goalie and you're facing a long pole coming at you from 10 yards out, that's a tough stop right there. But Cawley takes advantage of it, sticks it in the corner. Nice play for him.
That was a beauty, just saying, I got a clear look. I'm ripping this as hard as I can.
So as a defenseman, you don't get very many of those, and I'm sure Will Cawley said to himself, I'm taking this to the house.
And you could see right after he scored it, the reaction. He was pumped to see that hit the back of the net. So even at 1 now, with 4:50 to play in the first, are Syosset and Manhasset. Good physical play off the face-off. Out of bounds, and it'll go with Manhasset.
So far, every face-off has been a kind of a scrap, and I think both coaches would be pleased with that.
And you have a mix of either freshmen or sophomores taking these face-offs, young guys that the coaches are trying to see get consistent on them and get comfortable with them. Mike, how is that change from travel and JV to varsity on the face-offs? How drastic can that be?
Not much. It's still skills against skills. I think difference on high school is the matchups on the wing and how the coaches implement their long poles and their short sticks, and scouting and all of that comes into play.
Tommy Leader had it, swung it across now to O'Connor. O'Connor wears the check. Playing through, defending. It's Jeremy Mallon there, and now it's over to Colin, and they send it back behind the net for Sheeran. Sheeran looks to center it up, but it's blocked, deflected down by Evan Ostrager.
Here's our guy again.
Centers it up. Shot on. Great save made by Balch.
So far, it looks like all the concerns that we spoke about by the coaches, cohesiveness, lack of aggressiveness, I think they're being answered today. I think both teams are really, came to play today.
And that save may go a long way for Brady Balch, starting this game on a much better note so far than the Darien game, now getting a second start under his belt in a row.
He looks more relaxed, and he looks like more at home today.
You could even see it after that save on just the clear, just to hit that outlet and move. He looks like he's ready to roll.
Yep. And he's a big left-hander, so Syosset has to make that adjustment as well.
Petroselli tried to center it up. Good defense, though. And it'll be crease violation on Manhasset.
Again, Daniel Colin wearing the famous number 32 for Manhasset in honor of John Driscoll. The best player, or I suppose the player that exemplifies Manhasset lacrosse every year gets it, and Mr. Colin was awarded that this year. Good for him.
And you can understand when you speak to this group why he was, not only for what he can do on the field, but Coach said that he had great maturity because he was a younger guy playing up. Said he was the young pup playing with the big dogs, and now as a veteran player, he has taken the mantle and embraced the leadership and his experience, and now he helps the younger guys on this team, which is such an asset for a coach.
That early exposure for a young guy will pay out dividends like it did for Colin. I think they're hoping that all the young guys that they have involved today will pay dividends for them down the future.
Beekman has it. Rounding and gives it behind the net for Antonacci. Matthew Antonacci looking to make a move. Defending is James Ledbetter. Good job by Ledbetter, not giving Antonacci an inch.
Much better defensively today from Manhasset. Much better.
Waxer, his first good look. And we got a flag. First time Waxer's really been able to impact the game on the offensive end.
Yep. So Brady Balch made a nice stop on that one, and that's not an easy save to go from pipe to pipe and go from high to low. You can see here he matches sticks and he moves his body and he denied Brody.
Almost turned into a hockey goalie there. You got to go down to the knees and stop a point-blank look. Coming low. Great job by Balch. So
1 minute for slashing.
1 minute for slashing.
And now in a 1-1 game with a minute 56 to play. Big challenge for Manhasset, who's played terrific defense so far.
Let's see how Syosset does on their first man-up opportunity and how Manhasset responds.
Aiden Cleary had it now.
So it looks like Manhasset's strategy here against Syosset man-up would be to shut off Waxer. So now they're happy to play 5-on-4 and go with a full rotation, which is tough when you spread out like that. But so far Manhasset's doing a good job.
Really good ball movement here.
Penalty is on number 5, Marco Petroselli.
Thinking about a shot, and now taking one and scoring was Nicholas Turner. Good finish there
Nicholas Turner with an unassisted
on the man
goal.
advantage.
Syosset leads.
So what Syosset wound up doing is taking Waxer and putting him on the back end line in case there's a shot. Let's see the replay here. Turner going over the top. Brady reacting to that, just not quite getting to it. So that's going to be Syosset's strategy while Waxer will be out of the man up.
And you see on that John Calabria willing to kind of take Waxer out of the play, use him as an asset only on the missed shot, as you mentioned. And
There's different ways to handle that. You can get him involved. You can put him on a crease, much like Rosalind did, right, against Bethpage. There's different ways you can do it. It looks like Syosset's going to put Brody on the end line and play 5-on-4.
Dillmeyer and Acevedo battled out that faceoff. Dillmeyer got the win, though. The two freshmen in the faceoff circle. So you imagine these two programs are set there for a few years as these two continue to develop. Both coaches decided that they were excited to see where these two players continue to go throughout the year. The young freshman also for Manhasset, Dillmeyer, a part of a committee of face-off men. Palumbo has it, moving to his right. Oh, he goes behind the net, and it's swung over to Colin. Colin gives up top to Leader. Leader with a good run. Now to Palumbo. O'Connor has it. Back to Colin. 14 on the shot clock. Colin gets a pick, but good job by Syosset to slide under. That good save made. And so it'll reset the shot clock. Spinning around and almost having a nice point-blank look was Colin, but he misses wide. Good pressure here from Manhasset, though.
I think they're happy that they were able to get a fresh clock and now they could reset their offense. Colin looks aggressive today. He's going to make things work.
Connor Sheeran, the one who will begin that reset of the clock and this newfound possession for Manhasset. Sheeran gives it behind, and that'll end the quarter. So they got the last possession there and got it a little bit extended. But before we go to break, we got to take another look at that pole goal we got.
So here's Mr. Cawley bringing everything he has and finding himself 10 yards out in front of the cage, and basically Brady, no chance.
Anytime you get a pole goal, it's going to be a good day. And we have that 2-1 game after 12 between Syosset and Manhasset here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Chief Graphics specializes in custom graphics and signs, helping schools, businesses, and organizations bring their vision to life. Their expert team manages every step of the process, from design and fabrication to seamless installation, making them a one-stop shop for all graphic needs. From press box graphics, wall and floor wraps, mesh field signage, tents and backdrops, dimensional signs and letters, to senior recognition posters and donor recognition displays, Chief Graphics delivers custom solutions that make an impact. Their high-quality designs not only enhance spaces, but also strengthen brand presence, boost visibility, and create a sense of pride among students, staff, and supporters. When it comes to branding, trust the experts at Chief Graphics to make a statement that lasts. And once again, we thank Chief Graphics for their work and support towards varsity sports and high school sports. Mike, if you need any graphics done, this is the place.
That's what I'm learning. All right, so we're happy at Varsity Media to work with Chief Graphics.
Good first quarter there, Mike. What'd you see? 2-1, only 3 goals. Good defensive game both ways.
I think all the concerns that the coaches had about cohesion and physicality and aggressiveness, I think are already out the window. I think both teams are playing well. They're really getting after each other. Manhasset looks much better than they did on Saturday, playing well together on offense and defensively as well.
And the face-off and possession will eventually be grabbed by somebody. Good battle there.
And so far, every face-off that we've seen has turned into a scrap, especially with Mr. Cawley on the wing.
Cawley doing a great job of coming in and really mucking things up, and you're going to get a possession and timeout. Good job by Coach Cromwell.
I think that was an important time. Cromwell, I don't think he wanted to give up a possession going into the quarter.
Design, build, and maintain your dream home. J&R Custom Landscaping has been proudly offering landscape design for over 30 years. Give them a call today. I think landscaping, Mike, is a really important thing for your home, because it's not just cutting your grass, Mike. It's really making your home look beautiful. And
right.
J&R Landscaping, they do this.
And for those homeowners that, all of a sudden they're going to wake up one day and it's going to be 80 degrees and they're going to be behind. So now is the time to get your house ready.
And nobody wants, we can't do this stuff ourselves. Nobody wants. You got to go to J&R Landscaping. They make life a lot easier, because you can't make your hedges. You can't trim your hedges. You can't cut your grass. You can't, present your mulch and whatever you want the way that you'd love it to be.
It gets old after a while. So, turn it over to the professionals and let them worry about it.
11:39 to go here after that timeout, and basically just 21 seconds of a scrap to start this. And Coach Cromwell decides to go with the timeout, which gives his team a possession that, in a 2-1 game, every possession really matters here.
So it looks like Syosset has settled into a zone. Let's see how the young Manhasset team handles the zone.
And almost some trouble there. Tommy Leader, though, was there to scoop it up.
And in their zone, with Mr. Cawley up top, they're going to have to avoid the top middle of the field.
Petroselli goes down the wing. And now one more down for Sheeran, but it ends up back up top with Leader. Over to O'Connor.
Manhasset's doing a lot of position changes and cutting through. That's the way they're going to attack the zone, attack the seams, carry forward, throw back, or look back cage.
Good try there on the pass from Colin, but maybe a little too hot.
When you're in a zone like Syosset is, it's important, to get your sticks up in the passing lanes, and Syosset's doing a good job of that so far.
Petroselli has it, and there's only 14 on the shot clock. They'll make a quick change here. Instead of Petroselli, it'll be Philip Palumbo to start this. They got to get something off quick, though, as now they're under 12 seconds on the shot clock. O'Connor moves it to Leader. 6 on the shot clock. O'Connor loads up, shoots wide. So with 2 on the shot clock now, Colin will get it.
And it will be a shot clock violation.
He won't die. We have a visitor in the booth here today. A wasp that won't leave us alone. We'll take care of that.
Mike's on it. So while Mike continues to try and kill this wasp, we see a long run out from Josh Weisenfeld. And now Syosset has it.
For Syosset.
Antonacci with it behind the net. Now rounding and gives it up. So with it here is Brody Waxer, and they're not giving him any space.
Kelly's been doing a pretty good job on him so far. I think they chose the right guy. Even though he's a junior, that's a big assignment.
Rosenfeld has it. Good defense, though, by Manhasset as Ryan Rosenfeld looks for space. Now gives it up for Cole Beekman.
So Kelly alternating, shutting off Waxer or, dropping back and helping his team. But when Waxer has had the ball, Kelly's been doing a good job on a man-to-man.
Syosset with the shot clock winding down 3-2. They got to get a shot off and won't.
Great defense by Manhasset altogether.
Another possession to be really proud of there defensively.
Absolutely.
And Mike Nelson has now taken out the wasp that has haunted us for the last few minutes up here. We can now get back to the lacrosse game here, Mike.
So Mike Nelson 1, Wasp 0.
I have a feeling, based on the look of the wasp, it will not be retaliating to even that score. O'Connor has it.
So I see Syosset trying to do a little bit of the same thing that Manhasset's been doing. Waxer, they're shutting off Colin. But Colin able to take advantage of that.
How about the strength of Colin to fight through that double team, gets the pass off to O'Connor, who finishes it.
So Colin was able to, number one, get away from the shutoff, number two, fight through the pick, and then pick the ground ball up and make a nice look inside.
And once you can get O'Connor in that situation, he's scoring. Rounds gets point blank right there and just puts it up top to even the game.
Yeah. Senior leadership right there, both of those fellas.
O'Connor committed to Colby. Colin committed to Navy. Obviously will excel there. Not only there, but in the classroom also, Coach. Cromwell told me how great they both are of students, of people. Definitely proud to have them on the team. And O'Connor, he can just do anything for this team. He's an attacker who Coach said they really trust at any level of the field. If they had to put him elsewhere for different assignments to take him out of his role, and he'll embrace that if he has to.
In a team mainly of young people, how could you not ask for more out of two seniors?
Syosset looks to respond now in a game that's all even. Brody Waxer has it. He's trying to get an angle for a shot.
Kelly, again, nice job.
But they still come away with the goal, the finish, Ryan Rosenfeld.
Goal by Ryan Rosenfeld.
He got out in front. Great pass by Waxer. And they get the lead right back. Let's
Kelly
take another
doing
look.
a really good job on Waxer. Waxer actually getting his hands free and finding his cutter in the middle of the field. Manhasset has to do a better job of guarding in front of Brody and going with their cutters.
And you see good contact there, but DePietro had gotten beat. Now he's behind his man, and it became an easy finish for Rosenfeld, even through the contact, though.
Yeah.
3-2 lead now for Syosset. Under 8 minutes to play in this second. Tied up there. It'll end up with Syosset as he had a hold.
But again, all of these face-offs have been contested. Yep, and turned into a scrap.
Syosset looking to add another.
Hey, big guy, what's shaking?
With it is Matthew Azevedo.
My evaluation. The boss is here.
Azevedo moves left to right. And now behind the net, it'll be Antonacci. Matthew Antonacci rounding, looking for somewhere, takes a shot, rings wide. Balch may have gotten a piece there.
Balch able to get behind and chase the ball down. Very good for Brady.
Brady Balch with the hustle to the end line for Manhasset possession.
Another example of him looking comfortable and aggressive in this game compared to what we saw Saturday when he was thrown in the fire.
Yeah, it looks night and day for Brady. I'm happy he's able to settle down and become more comfortable.
Sheeran had it. And now it's Colin. Down a goal is Manhasset in this first half. Under 7 minutes to play now.
So Syosset out of their zone. Looks like they're playing a little man-to-man here. See how they handle the adjustment, Manhasset.
And Manhasset trying to penetrate at all. Tommy Leader has it. Now to Petroselli. Petroselli defended by Cole Casanova. Ball finds its way back to Tommy Leader. He steps right to left. Now has a look, and a good save made by Josh Weisenfeld.
Great save by Josh, standing his ground, not giving much to shoot at. Both defenses are giving the other teams different looks on every defensive possession. So it'd be interesting how the young guys, adjust and are able to make that work.
And you can see right there a turnover.
So a famous defensive coach once said, defense begins on the ride, right? So there you see, good job by Manhasset.
Manhasset now looking to even this game.
Cawley a little aggressive on that closeout check.
Yeah, he got, I believe, Petroselli there.
Cawley's aim was exceptional on that check, and he was able to make his presence known.
Leader checked from behind. And now Manhasset with a run. Ostrager had it. And now pass towards net is going to end up wide. And Manhasset will have the ball back.
Okay, Syosset will settle into a deep ride here. Happy to let their defense and goalie handle the ball. See, they need to find a midfielder here.
There's James Ledbetter with it. Taking as much room as they'll give him. Ledbetter puts on a spin. Now gets rid of it for Colin. Colin loses it off a good check, but quickly scoops it up and now goes back to work.
I don't think Manhasset really wanted the defenseman to carry the ball all the way up, but they were ready to make it work. You don't want to do that on every clear.
And Ledbetter had been looking for that outlet, it seemed. He wasn't too confident in a run-up, but he was taking the space that he was given.
Right, there was nobody open for him, and eventually when a long pole carries the ball like that, they're gonna get shut off.
Here's Leader. Gives behind. Petroselli back to Leader. Petroselli tries to round, but couldn't.
Syosset back at a man-to-man.
O'Connor gives it up for Palumbo. Now it's Colin. Gets the pick from Palumbo. Takes it left. Colin driving just outside the crease. Gets stopped. Shot clock about to expire. Puts one on and it gets saved. Good defensive possession there from Syosset, who continues to change the looks.
Very nice stop by Josh Weisenfeld. And Colin, that was a quality shot by Colin.
Good check by Sheeran, knocks the ball loose.
So that's what happens sometimes when you have the long pole carrying the ball.
And a bad pass looking for Colin in front. He couldn't get it.
DiPietro did a nice job picking the ground ball up and looking, just the pass was a little off. I'm not sure if he was expecting Colin to cut to an area where he was throwing a ball, but they had miscommunication on that.
So Syosset's got it with a 3-2 lead. 3:45 to play here in the opening half. We got a whistle. And it's going to be a Syosset timeout. Let's take a look at the upcoming broadcast schedule here for Varsity Media. Fairport, Cold Spring Harbor girls lacrosse. You have Kellenberg and Holy Trinity baseball. And those are both tomorrow, 1 o'clock, 4:30. And then Spalding and St. Anthony's on Thursday at 12. Manhasset at Cold Spring Harbor. Girls lacrosse also Thursday. It's a 1 p.m. game. And Massapequa at East Islip. A great matchup out east of here. Boys lacrosse on Thursday at 5. And finally, Cold Spring Harbor at Wantagh on April 22nd, 5 p.m. Boys lacrosse. A lot of great games on that slate, Mike. I can't wait to watch all of them.
Yeah, the way the conference is set up this year, basically every week there's a couple of games of the week.
Absolutely. And we have one here today. Just 3-2, 3:39 to go in this half. What do you think the message is here in this break from these two coaches to try and, I mean, they both have to be looking to get their team a lead in the next 4 minutes to enter the half, right?
I think both should be very happy with the way they both came out competitively. Especially young team. I wouldn't change too much at this point if I were either of them. Manhasset has to figure out a way to adjust offensively to Syosset defensive changes, and vice versa.
Both teams head back out on the field now.
So every ground ball is being contested. Every face-off is being contested. You're seeing good rise and clears on both sides. This is a great game.
Defensively, both teams have shown up, and I think that the energy that the coaches had spoken to us about prior is there. I think both of these teams are creating a very intense atmosphere on the field for themselves and understand what each play means.
No, they're definitely going after each other. They came to play, both teams.
And you see that especially on the face-offs. But here's Brody Waxer, who puts one towards net, but it's going to go over the top of the goal. And Waxer's really trying to get something going. And there's been a few moments on two of their goals where Waxer has been a key contributor, but he's got a tough assignment with Colin Kelly.
Kelly did a really good job of that, limiting his angle on that shot and taking away everything that Waxer needed.
The two of them right back at it.
Kelly's doing a very good job.
A little bit of help came from DePietro, but he moves back and then knocks that one down. Kelly scoops the ground ball, and Manhasset can reset. Great defensive possession.
I'm super impressed with Mr. Kelly so far.
Says a lot as well about the faith that Keith Cromwell has in him as a turnover. That midfield sends Syosset the other way.
That's asking a lot for a junior to defend and take away one of the top players in Nassau County.
Rosenfeld on the right wing. Moving down to attack position.
So Syosset's going to attack the short stick D-Midi. See how Manhasset defends. See if they send somebody early.
Rosenfeld to Accardo. Accardo surveying. Doesn't have much. 25 on the shot clock. Still time for Syosset. Passes out to Chung. Going to make a move.
Nice
good
short
defense.
stick defense there. Very good defense.
Ground ball. Manhasset has it.
The Manhasset defense is like light years ahead of where it was on Saturday.
Arik Solera picked up that ground ball on a big check and a flag. Just past midfield. Delivering that one was Kyle Melkonian. Syosset moves the other way with a penalty awaiting. Good defense from DePietro. They're trying to get this ball out. Antonacci slowing things down for Syosset. Now looking out in front. And Arik Solera has it. Knocks it out of bounds. .1 minute. That's going to be an illegal check.
So here we have a replay of this flag here. Contested ground ball. I think they're going to call the number 22 was a little too aggressive with the hit on that ground ball.
And it's Melkonian who heads off. The official had signaled for Colin Kelly, 18, but he was not the one involved on that play, Kelly. It was Melkonian.
Right, so they scratched out. It was definitely Melkonian.
So for a minute of the final minute 21, Syosset will have an advantage. They scored on their last man up. Still with a 1-goal lead here as this first half is in its closing stages. Starting with it is Antonacci. They'll give it back behind the net.
All right, so
Sanchez.
Waxer not on the field currently on this man up. Maybe got a little banged up on that last foul.
Turnaround hits the outside of the net. That was Adrian Sanchez.
Nice job by Brady Waxer, I'm sorry, to get that ball out, get the ball to the short stick. And now we have an extra man advantage. Now we have a little chaos in the middle of the field.
Manhasset looking to
call a timeout for Manhasset. He missed the opportunity, Coach Cromwell, with the ball being knocked out of the stick.
Good job by Will Cawley
Turnover
to disrupt that.
by Will Cawley.
34 seconds to go in this one, and about 13 seconds left on the man up.
All right, so if Manhasset's looking to get the ball over to midfield, and will most likely call a timeout once they clear the ball with short time.
They get it there. 20 to go in the first half. They look to center it up for Colin. Couldn't. Now a shot on by Connor Sheeran is going to go wide. 15 seconds. Shot clock turned off.
Yeah, the penalty expired. They're playing 6-on-6 with the 15 seconds left in the first half.
Here's Colin with 10. Spins and scores. Right in the contact as he rounds the crease. Lowers the shot angle. Goes sidearm and puts it in with 9 seconds to play. Evens things up in this first half.
I think Colin, from the looks of it, has made up his mind that he's just going to take over this game offensively and leave Manhasset himself. Very good change of direction here. Nice spin move, coming over the top, fighting through the defensive check, and beating Josh short side.
Great balance there to stay up through that contact and be able to put a shot on.
He got high enough in the crease where he was able to draw Josh away from that pipe and sneak it in short side.
See if Syosset can do anything. 2 seconds here. And about to put one on, but not able to, was James Romanello. So before we go, let's take one more look at that goal as Colin took matters into his own hands.
Young Mr.
At the end of the second.
So again, fighting through the check and sneaking it in through a small window on the short side.
Unless they estimate it.
3-3 the score. We're all even. You don't want to go anywhere. As second half action from Manhasset High School awaits here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media @Varsity Media.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off X 3 in a row now.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly.
Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash. What a way to end the third quarter. Look at this. Merrill. No slide. No problem. Gary Merrill goes top corner.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Now we're back live here for second half action between Manhasset and Syosset. First, thank our sponsors, Chief Graphics and J&R Landscaping, two of the best services for their respective services there. Chief Graphics, get your best graphics made, and J&R Landscaping. Now's the time of year, really. You can feel the warm weather a bit this week, but now's the time of year to get them on the phone because they're going to get busy, and you want to make sure that you have the best landscaping. And, Mike, we saw Manhasset on Saturday, as we've mentioned, you and I, and they played Darien. Darien, a veteran team, a lot of college commits, veteran coach, really well-oiled machine. Manhasset, Coach Cromwell's telling us, trying to get better every game. I think we've seen that so far today.
I think they've really taken the next step in their evolution as a team, as far as the season goes. They must have watched a lot of film or really, learned a lot from the last game. Looks like they're ready.
And if Dillmeyer and Acevedo take the opening face-off again, two freshmen here for these squads. And Dillmeyer's, coach said, very technically sound, just trying to work on getting that next level of aggression and competitiveness for varsity. And for a freshman, that's definitely a tall task, and he's showing it right there.
I think it's crazy that both programs, such as these, historical programs, have two freshmen in such a role.
Could Manhasset have asked for a better start there? Win the face-off, great run downfield, make an extra pass. And Sheeran puts home the goal.
Looks like they drew a flag as well.
A perfect start. We'll take another look.
Cohen making a catch and release on the fast break. Nice look inside. And Manhasset drew a foul. See if they called it off. Referee's hashing it out right now.
Referee's talking about it, and Connor Sheeran is giving a bit of a negative look, hoping it counts. And we'll hear the referee here.
Referee Tommy Reynolds with the call. To the head, 1 minute.
1 minute.
That's a 1 minute foul, unreleasable. So the Syosset guy, Carly, looks like, will be locked in for the minute, and he'll be in there whether Manhasset scores or not. So Manhasset goes from scoring a goal to retaining possession to being a man up.
And now you have 60-second shot clock, 60-second penalty. As you mentioned, he cannot leave. He's not getting back on the field in the next 60 seconds. So Is there a way that you approach this aggressively and try to get 2-3 shots on, or are you waiting for that best shot?
Yeah, I think Manhasset, number one, they're going to be happy to call these out because he's their main defender. I think they're going to try to generate offense early. I don't think they need to take the whole 60. I think they're going to try to look for more opportunities.
Here's Colin. Again, Will Cawley out after the penalty there for Syosset. So their top guy, top pole for this team, is out, one of our impact players for today. And there's a good try.
Syosset in a full rotation right there. Manhasset's doing a good job of changing positions and moving around. But Syosset left them the only option that they had was a low-angle shot.
That was Phil Palumbo trying on that low angle, but couldn't get it to go, just missed. Good try, though. And now Syosset looks to cross the crease, but pass ends up far corner out of bounds. So
I think that wasn't a good decision by Manhasset to start substituting on the turnover because it left the far side of the field wide open for Syosset.
Definitely got dangerous there for a moment. They end up getting no shot on, though, and with the ball is Auric Celura.
But they still have 15 seconds left on a man up.
Doc O'Connor has it now. Up top, the leader, and swung around to Dylan Shear.
They're running short of time to have to make something happen.
Shot on from Colin is saved.
Outside the net, so Josh was able to pick the ball up, and Syosset will look to regroup here after the foul. So it's all even.
Syosset now trailing. It's their first time trailing since being down 1-0. Now here are the Syosset forwards trying to generate something.
That could have been a nice opportunity for Manhasset to create some separation here in the score, having that foul, unreleasable foul for a minute. But they're still doing a good job. They're still ahead by a goal.
Teams in this game, either of them have not been able to really gain that extra inch at any stop. So it's only fitting that Syosset ends up killing that and getting out clean, and now has a chance to even things up.
As we saw in the Darien game, the runs were longer and more sustained, and here they're back and forth.
There's Brody Waxer.
With the take.
Skips one towards Balch, but it's saved.
Ball scoops up the bouncer.
Brady standing in there nice and tall, much more confident than he was on Saturday, and able to gain possession of the ball.
We get a whistle. And some argument from the Manhasset side of things already. Yeah, it seems as if they just thought Manhasset called the timeout, and immediately Coach Cromwell said, I did not call timeout. So they continue now. And Colin will have it to slow things down. O'Connor has it.
Almost an offside for Manhasset.
O'Connor on the left side. He scans 40 on the shot clock. O'Connor.
O'Connor matched up against the short stick. See if he tries to take advantage of that.
Petroselli had it. Gives up front to Leader. Leader wears some contact. 20 on the shot clock. O'Connor again. Gonna get up top, fires. It's gonna be high. And Hassett will keep it. 13 on the shot clock now. Got to get something going fast.
O'Connor with the take.
So Colin will start it. Again, 13 on the shot clock.
Colin with Cawley covering him.
Quickly gets it to Petroselli. Now up top. One more to Leader.
3 seconds.
And Leader's just going to send one out all the way beyond the goal and take the shot clock violation. Good defensive possession from Syosset, and Manhasset decides to just eat it.
Absolutely. So Manhasset back in a deep ride here. Let's see how Syosset handles that. I don't think they want their pole to be carrying the ball over. Everything will clear. We can kind of go after him here.
Ostrager with it. He's carried it a long way. Now he gets rid of it.
29, I believe that's
With it is Ryan Rosenfeld. And now Nicholas Turner has it. There's a long shot. It'll never get there. Loading that one up was Joseph Saueracker.
Nice block by the Manhasset defender.
Syosset continues, though, under 30 now. Good look, saved by Balch, and that gets the bench a little excited.
He's a big target in there. It's tough to get around him. Nice job being in position for that.
And now nearly a turnover. Manhasset has it. Petroselli looking in, scores. How about it? We saw Balch make a save and spark a goal a few times on Saturday, and it happens here today.
Now it looks like it's happening now. The Manhasset bench is very excited and behind Brady. Again, he made the save and spurred the play to go down the other field. A little bit of a helter-skelter, wide-open chaos type play, and Manhasset taking advantage.
Marco Petroselli continues a strong start to the season.
Cawley again with the hit after the shot. So he's a physical guy, and he's got to be careful, I believe.
Coach told us about Petroselli. He's an anchor. He's going to anchor that left side of the attack for them all year. And he's always got a big smile on his face when he shows up. He wants to be a big-time player. And there's a goal for Syosset. And a quick response, putting that one in, was Brody Waxer, who continues to try and impact this game.
So a nice win by Syosset off the face-off turns into a 4-on-3 fast break, and Waxer able to capitalize on that. So again, the runs are much shorter today. They're going, back and forth. And nobody's had a sustained run of 3 or 4 goals yet.
Back to a 1-goal game as Manhasset leads 5-4. And back to the note on Petroselli. Coach, he just said he's a joy to have on your team because he always shows up with a big smile. He wants to be a big-time player, and he thinks he will be because he understands what that takes. Here's another attempt at a pole goal and saved by Balch.
Brady able to eat that pole shot off by Cawley, and again gets his bench fired up again.
And Hassett moving it the other way with a pole of their own and a whistle. We'll get a timeout.
A timeout.
So 5-4 game.
With 6:31 left in the third.
And you got 6:31 left here in this third quarter. Design, build, and maintain your dream home. J&R Custom Landscaping has been proudly offering landscape design for over 30 years. Give them a call today. It really makes a difference in the spring when you step outside, nice weather, and you can just see your beautiful yard, your beautiful landscaping. Good morale boost for you.
It's worth every penny.
Absolutely.
Worth every penny.
Take a look at the Manhasset College commits. Got Danny Colin going to Navy, Arik Solera going to Stony Brook, Dan O'Connor, Colby, and Henry Griffith, Franklin and Marshall, starting goaltender, but not out there today or Saturday. Kip Sicaria, Lehigh, and Keith Lamb is going to Clark. Really good group of players, this Manhasset team, to lead this next generation. You have some juniors here as well, so they have a bright future, as always, at this program.
A couple of D1 commits, that's pretty impressive, but as you said, there will be more because they're so young. So, expect them to keep adding to that list.
Again, your score 5-4. 6:31 to play in this third quarter. It's anybody's game here, Mike. What do these two teams have to do to try and break through? Is there anything that's preventing them from doing so on either side?
I think, limit the mental mistakes, limit the turnovers, limit the fouls. It looks to me like both teams have to avoid being man down because they've been capitalizing those. So limit the mental mistakes and any fouls.
Manhasset has it. Looking to extend their lead back to 2. And it'll go out beyond, out of bounds. Dylan Shear was the shooter. With it is Danny Colin. Sets it up for Tommy Leader, who goes out in front, and a goal. Connor Sheeran puts it home for Manhasset. Good setup.
That's great. Great teamwork, great movement by the Manhasset offense. You can see the recognition, realizing that the middle of the cage was open. You can see defender Cawley from Syosset expressing his frustration. Look for Syosset to kind of make adjustment to deal with the cutters much better.
Will Cawley, I think, looking to his fellow D partners there and just saying we can't let that happen. We saw Manhasset allow a goal earlier on a similar situation, and now they get one back. 6-4 the score. And we have
as a defensive leader, Cawley's going to have to run everybody through that and make sure everybody's on the same page.
Syosset will get.
There have been no gimmies on the face-off X at all today. Everything has either been contested or, blown dead. But everybody's been scrapping.
Syosset looking to respond once again and cut that two-goal deficit to 1. Looking to set things up. Good defense here by James Ledbetter, who's done a nice job today.
Kelly back to shutting off Waxer. That's been an on and off thing all day.
Good ground ball by Lachlan Fitzpatrick, the senior. Manhasset moves it the other way.
Nice job on the clear by Manhasset. Very good job.
Melkonian looks for the pass, and it'll bounce high out of bounds.
So those are the things that they have to avoid. Any mistakes like that, turnovers. After a good defensive stance and a nice clear, a turnover on that possession right afterwards, that's something they have to avoid.
There's a shot on, but wide by Brody Waxer. Waxer, junior, committed to Michigan. He's an all-county player last year. He got brought up 3 years ago, halfway through his 8th grade season. And they'll score here. It's Waxer.
Coming all the way from the corner with an unassisted goal.
So when a ball goes out of bounds, it's an opportunity for Waxer to get possession of the ball, and he was able to beat Kelly that one time, but maybe the only time for the whole day. Kelly not able to shut him off, obviously, because Waxer began to play with the ball, and Waxer had all the space in the world to come around.
And you can understand Kelly will probably beat himself up for that, but Mike, you said it. Kelly, maybe 20-plus attempts at that same situation. Kelly's won all of them.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. It's only eventually Waxer's going to have his, but so far Kelly's doing a great job.
And with Waxer, back to his point, is Coach Calabria told me that now he's getting 2 or 3 defensemen every time he has the ball. Today it's just been Kelly, but he's always getting 2 or 3 defensemen or the top defenseman on teams, and he's getting tough assignments, but he says he always finds a way to continue to impact the game, and he doesn't hurt their team by trying to do too much selfishly, and he understands his role. Again, Michigan commit, so obviously.
Yeah, obviously he's had to deal with it before, and they've come up with different ways to kind of, combat that. So far from Manhasset, only thrown one guy at him, Kelly. They've been successful, but you can't keep a guy like, Waxer down for an entire game.
Petroselli is behind the net for Colin, trying to set it up out in front. Couldn't connect with Connor Sheeran. Keeping it alive is Dylan Shear, though. He's got it up top.
And next year, Waxer's going to be playing against some pretty big defensive Big Ten defensemen, so he's going to have to get used to that.
Including Mark McNamara, who we saw on Saturday, who's heading to Penn State.
Exactly.
Big 6'6" defenseman for Darien.
I haven't thought of that. That's going to be some matchup in college.
Oh, yeah. Here's Colin with it. Under 10 on the shot clock. He rounds, takes the shot. It gets blocked. Ends up out of bounds. We have a flag. I believe it'll be against Syosset.
Colin has that determination every time he gets the ball that he's gonna, he's gonna get a good look.
A really great motor.
Yeah. He's not a real big guy, but just big enough to get past guys and small enough to get underneath them.
Again for Syosset, they'll lose Will Cawley to a penalty. Slashing there.
You love the physicality and aggressiveness of Cawley. Sometimes aggressive guys can get a little too aggressive, and that's what the referees are looking for. So they want to keep him out of the box if they're going to keep in this game.
Manhasset up 6-5, 3:36 to play in this third quarter. And this game is certainly fostered that intensity that Cauley was bringing on those penalties. Just the nature of.
I think with the way both teams are playing defensively, I think that like a 2-goal lead here could be enough.
Could be right there, Mike. With it up top is Daniel O'Connor.
And Manhasset being patient here.
They failed to convert their last man advantage. Looking to change that this time.
Yep. They have Syosset nice and spread out. Look for Manhasset to dip somebody in the middle.
Colin rips one off the crossbar.
Colin.
Heck of a miss there from Colin.
Hits the crossbar.
They have a fresh clock. 10 seconds left in the penalty. And we'll see what Manhasset does here. I don't think they're going to rush anything. Even if the penalty expires, they're still going to have possession.
Colin, nice move, puts one in. Thought for a moment it hit the outside, but Colin puts it in. He banks it off of the goaltender, it looked like.
Yeah,
He's got another.
His determination to get in front of the cage is something that I haven't seen all year from anybody else. You know, when he shoots the ball, he's got 3 guys on his hands, just like that last play. Here he goes. Nice face dodge, creating a better angle and banking the ball off of Josh Wiesenfeld.
And Josh had been in pretty good position, but it gets banked right off the inside of his thigh, it looked like. And Colin has the goal.
I think Syosset should give Colin the treatment that Manhasset's been giving Waxler.
It feels that that's appropriate at this point. Colin has taken over this game at so many different points, including multiple goals. Same way that Waxler's been able to when he's gotten a little bit of space.
Sure. And those guys know when it's their time to go. They know when it's not their time to go. They know when to let other teammates, carry the ball offensively and wait for their spots.
And Colin, we've seen him so often today playing with his hair on fire, but never in a way that's detrimental to the team on possessions. He's not really wasting any possessions here by trying to do too much.
No, he's a smart player. His experience, his leadership is really crucial here, and he's leading by example.
Here he is again with it. Sends it behind the net. Manhasset looking to set something up, try and get the first 3-goal lead of the afternoon.
So there's no really, urgency right here. No. And
there it is.
Too soon.
Dylan Shear. Right on cue, Mike.
Yep. So 3-goal lead here is going to be, I would dare say almost insurmountable. We'll see what happens. He got a nice inside roll here and beating Syosset goalie Wiesenfeld to the far side. They took advantage of the short stick defending him.
And Coach Cromwell, when speaking about Shear early on in the season, said when you watch him, if you're not really a lacrosse mind and you're not really a coach perspective, he might not wow you, but he does every single thing that we ask of him. He plays in his role perfectly, and he's an old school throwback kind of player, willing to get dirty, willing to play really physical and embrace the physicality. Another leader on this team. They're really, really high on him.
And coachable. And coachable.
That's the biggest trait, right?
Need, yeah.
Colin's shot got blocked.
A lot of times you have upperclassmen, seniors that, to really kind of get away from, want to do their own thing, get away from what the coaches are trying to implement. But these guys, Colin, Shear, right, they're doing exactly what Coach Cromwell wants them to do, and the team is better for it.
And Shear's most important on-field attribute, according to Coach, was you watch the game back on tape, and you can certainly see it live, but when they watch the game back, he never puts his teammates in a bad position. There's never a reason why something went wrong because Shear set up somebody poorly or put himself or someone else in a bad spot.
It's little things, right? Little things that make you successful. And if you're willing to do the little things, then the big things come after that.
And when you look at the young guys on these teams, a player like Dylan Shear is who you can start to model yourself after in just making sure that you win those battles that don't show up in the scorecard.
Yep. So in 2 or 3 years, we're going to see some of these younger guys from Manhasset playing just like they saw Dylan Shear play.
To the ball carrier.
There's leader.
1 minute and a third.
Manhasset trying to set something up again. They have owned this quarter. Shear has it. Back behind, and Petroselli possesses against the long pole. Not going to get any space. Now under 15 on the shot clock leader. With it, moves out to his right now to Colin. Under 10. Colin moves left, now stops, drives, swims underneath. Tried to get a shot on, but a good check. And that's with 27 seconds to go. Again, you see frustration from Will Cawley, the defensive leader of this team, for allowing Colin to even get a look there.
So Colin's aggressiveness and his footwork and his ability to get open really drew that foul, and that's a good.
Another penalty called.
1 minute slash.
On Syosset.
Here we go, Colin with the ball again. Face dodge, gets underneath the defender, improves his angle, and was able to draw the foul on Cawley.
That's Cawley's third penalty now in 2 quarters, and important to note it's a minute-long penalty, but only 27 seconds to go here in this third quarter.
So what Manhasset will do, they'll take their time here. They'll be patient with it. If toward the end of the quarter they don't have a look, they'll hold on to possession so they can start the fourth quarter with the ball.
And we had seen them on Saturday in a similar situation, end up actually scoring with only 2 or 3 seconds left in the quarter. We'll see if they end up in a similar scenario today where they have to push the agenda late. There's a nice pass, a shot on. Is saved.
Ground ball is really important here.
Under 10 seconds to go in the third quarter now. And we got a whistle, so that.
Manhasset got a little lucky. The Syosset called the timeout on that ground ball right there.
Syosset timeout.
So 3 seconds to go here. 8-5 is the score. Chief Graphics specializes in custom graphics and signs, helping schools, businesses, and organizations bring their vision to life. Their expert team manages every step of the process, from design and fabrication to seamless installation, making them a one-stop shop for all graphic needs. From retail signage, wall and floor wraps, vehicle graphics, wayfinding signage, Chief Graphics delivers custom solutions that make an impact. Their high-quality designs not only enhance spaces, but also strengthen brand presence, boost visibility, and create visual interest. When it comes to branding, trust the experts at Chief Graphics to make a statement that lasts. 3 seconds to go here in this third quarter. What do you think the nature of this timeout is right after that ground ball for Syosset?
So what Syosset's going to do, they're going to start the ball here and try to hold on to a possession so they don't have to face off, man down, going into the fourth quarter. So Syosset's certainly not going to take a shot. They're going to hold on to the ball, and this way you can start the fourth quarter with the ball. They will be man down for another 37 seconds.
A 3-goal lead for Manhasset, and that's a great number for this team to have the way that this game has been played defensively, but certainly not out of reach for Syosset at 8-5. But Manhasset feeling great about where they are with another nearly 40 seconds on the man advantage.
They're going to try to get Waxer over to midfield in 3 seconds, but still with him retaining possession.
And Waxer ends up.
See, I would have expected him to run the other way because now they have to start the ball man down with the double team down here, but at least they have the ball and no face-off.
Well, 8-5 after 3, and for Manhasset, it was Danny Colin having the big finish to this one.
Here's Colin again with the face dodge in the face of 3 defensemen, improving his angle. You know, with shooters like that, there really are no tough angle shots.
8-5 your score here between Syosset and Manhasset. 12 minutes left to play. You don't want to go anywhere. You're watching Boys Lacrosse on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Back live from Manhasset High School for the final 12 minutes here between Manhasset and Syosset, where the home team has a 3-goal lead. Syosset looking to cut into that. We thank you for joining us this morning into this afternoon on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Once again, I'm Kevin Bunk, joined by my partner Mike Nelson. And now Syosset will move left to right in their road reds, while Manhasset finishes the game moving right to left in their whites. That's a great job to carry it over midfield by Jeremy Mallon.
Again, not ideal to have your long pole carry the ball over, but he did a good job getting away from 2 defenders there.
These two defenses have put the opposing teams in situations where the long poles have had to carry it over midfield way more than you'd like.
But they must be confident in their ball carriers to allow them to continue to do that, and as long as it's working.
And we saw early how confident they'd be in Will Cawley, Syosset, to be able to bring it over. He brings it over and not only does that, but then scores.
Well, I don't know many riders that are willing to get in front of Will Cawley when he's carrying the ball.
I certainly wouldn't be.
That could be a strategy of theirs.
Syosset looking to cut into this 3-goal lead that Manhasset has. With it is Nicholas Turner. Puts one towards
by
net.
Brady Balch.
Great save made. Brady looks very comfortable today. And a good ground ball. Sends Manhasset the other way. Maybe having the best game of everybody here today is Colin Kelly.
Let's see if Manhasset can continue to capitalize every time Brady makes a nice play. It definitely gets the team going, that's for sure. The bench is excited every time he makes a stop.
And you can tell they like having him on the team, whether he's on the field or not. He's getting a response that shows a lot about his character and as a person.
Yeah, and he's a senior backup, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do, right? But he took the responsibility. He's being a good teammate. Now it's his opportunity, and he's stepping up.
There's Tommy Leader. I think another goal here for Manhasset would put them firmly in the driver's seat to try and close this game out defensively. But you're still looking for that 9th goal. O'Connor hesitates. Good pass, and there it is. 9th goal today for Manhasset, scored by Phil Palumbo on a great setup by Dan O'Connor.
And Daniel O'Connor on the assist. Manhasset leads 9-5.
So good job by O'Connor to draw a defender and finding Palumbo right in the seam, right in the top of the crease. You can see the difference in both teams' reactions here. You can see Manhasset just continue to be filled with confidence and pleased with the way they've been responding. And Syosset's kind of realizing, we have to avoid the mistakes, and I'm not sure we can get back in this game.
Syosset's going to have serious urgency now with 9:56 to play in the 4th, down 4 goals now, and they only have 5 on the day. Goals have not been easy to come by for either side. And you had said it earlier, 2-goal lead at 7-5 might have gotten the job done. Now a 9-5 lead.
It's not an up and down game. It's not like, there goes Cawley taking another. Did they call that?
No call.
Okay. Well, he got away with one there, so he's got to be careful.
Now numbers for Syosset. Good setup and missing wide on a good look was Gio Accardo.
Gio Accardo with the paint.
Brady was in good position there, reacted well, and didn't give much to shoot at.
Brody Waxer has it, but we get a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout here.
Final timeout.
So it looks like Brody will probably take the ball out after the timeout. And interesting, right before they called the timeout, DiPietro was locked on him. Let's see if they stick with DiPietro or with Kelly.
Let's take a look at the college commits for Syosset. Big one right off the top, Brody Waxer heading to Michigan. You also have Nick Turner going to Geneseo, Will Cawley to Lehigh, and Josh Weisenfeld will be sticking around at LIU. But good group here as well for Syosset, similar to Manhasset, of guys that can help groom this young team and hopefully get them playing like they are now.
Yep, same thing. Three Division I commits. That's really impressive. Underneath them, behind them, will be definitely be some more.
And of course, still time for juniors who are highly recruited to be committing, so that could happen in the next few weeks of the season. Both coaches had alluded to a couple guys that are in the process right now of trying to finalize where they'll be.
It's hard for college coaches right now, being in the middle of the season, kind of, lock all that stuff up. As soon as their season's over and the summer starts, you're going to see the dominoes start falling.
And of course, the nature of college sports with the transfer portal and with teams now looking away from high school athletes and first-year players in college, knowing they can just get them the year after.
Right.
It speaks volumes to what these programs can do to still be able to continue pumping out high-level recruits every year.
It's definitely a different landscape. It's really one that's hard to kind of understand at times. But there's a lot of changes, a lot of looks, more players, more coaches, more programs. But if you're a lacrosse player, it's definitely the time to be out there looking. They started with DiPietro on Waxer.
Waxer set it up, and another nice save by Balch. Brady Balch standing strong today.
I think from early on to now, I think he's been the story other than Colin. I think the leader on the defensive end has definitely been, and all along with Kelly, has been Brady Balch.
Here's Balch with the ball. Heaves one down. And it'll be failure to advance as Syosset put some good pressure there.
Yeah, Syosset did a good job. I like Brady as a stopper. I'm not sure that you want him to have the ball in the clear in that situation. So look for Manhasset to give him a little more help in the clear.
Brady was definitely put in a position there that
sure.
He doesn't want to be in either. But
it was a good ride by Syosset. That's exactly what they wanted,
Now Syosset with another possession. 8:40 to play. 9-5 the lead. Syosset really needs one here.
Manhattan putting a little pressure Manhasset putting a little pressure on it defensively right away.
Turner has it. Now goes behind. It's going to be Brody Waxer with it, looking to make something happen. The Michigan commit centers it. There's a shot and a goal. Is putting that one in is Cole Beekman off of the assist from Waxer.
So what I was just going to say, so Manhasset wasn't playing defense like sitting back and kind of, holding on to their lead. They were playing aggressive defensively, and on that play a little too aggressively. They doubled the ball where they really didn't have to and left number 6 wide open.
And a nice shot going low was Beekman. So this game not over yet. 9-6 the score. With time, still 8:15 to go, and a big face-off underway here. And it's going to be won by Syosset. And quickly losing it there. And again, a long pole taking it a little too deep for you, Evan Ostrager. Big collision.
DiPietro's another guy with a endless motor.
Flag down. Good pass across, and DiPietro was the intended target, but the pass was just a bit wide. He would have had to switch his hands there. Tough for a pole to do in a split second.
So, DiPietro picking up the ground ball and clearing it himself through the middle. Syosset doing a good job of closing on him, and Mr. Cawley took another foul.
Will Cawley, just another one of those aggressive nature plays, leaving his feet there. And then another check at the end of that, so he got his money's worth.
So we thought Syosset was out of it before, right? And then Syosset was able to come back on a little bit of its own run and kind of climb back in this game. And those are the things that we talked about: is staying out of the box, no mental errors, and I feel like that was a mental error. And I don't think he needed to take that foul on that play.
The first thing that Coach John Calabria told me was, we need to worry about ourselves. We're concerned with not beating ourselves. Then we'll figure out how to beat the other team. And we've seen a few instances of Syosset hurting their chances based on self-inflicted wounds.
As a former goalie, you love defensive like that. You know, to dominate the field and be aggressive and, make the offensive guys, keep their heads up. But that time it turned against them.
Connor Sheeran capitalizes off the penalty with a goal. Now 10-6 is your score with 7 minutes to play, 7-11.
And a mental error on Syosset came back and bit them. Connor Sheeran literally had 0 angle. But again, with some of these guys, there's no such thing as a low angle shot. Right? They're able to make stuff like that work. His feet were on the goal line extended. Somehow he was able to wrap that ball on the inside pipe.
And I think for Josh Weisenfeld, he was in a good position, and he looks behind. I think he expected that to be wide, and he turns around, it's in the net. He looked shocked.
Josh did a good job of getting to the pipe, but Sheeran just stuck it where, the 3 inches that he gave him.
I'm sure you've been in situations like that one as a former goalie where it's just frustrating to think you did everything right and still a great shot beats you.
Well, then I would try to blame other people, but you got to give all the credit to the shooters. And these guys can shoot the heck out of the ball now.
Syosset looking to answer quick. They need to. They want to stay in this one.
I paid somebody $5 to get in to watch this game today, and it was worth every penny.
Oh, yeah. This has been a great one. Here's Nicholas Turner. That pass. Aaron, and that's just the Manhasset defense. The Manhasset defense has definitely felt like it has caused some mental confusion and fatigue mentally for this Syosset team today. Absolutely great defensive day for them.
Communication, the positioning is outstanding. The slides have been early. The slides have been on point. They're doing a good job against Waxer. You got Kelly here back on Waxer. Literally no room to get his hands free. He was able to, take a little bit of a shorthanded shot. But that Kelly was happy to, limit him to that.
Yeah, Kelly absolutely in lockstep with Waxer.
You got DiPietro, you got Solora. Manhasset's got a very good defense.
And it's amazing you can see the growth that they've had just from Saturday to today.
Yeah.
There's going to be a goal for Syosset. Cole Beekman, another one. But you can see it for Manhasset, how they've grown in just 4 days worth. We'll take a look at this goal.
Okay, Waxer trying to fight through traffic, and Syosset recognizing that there was a double team going on Waxer and cut to the open space.
Good quick release, too. Just a quick flick off the catch.
So you don't want to double team, in a situation like this, but you have to be aware of it. That it's possible that you have to double team, and I think Manhasset was caught in the middle on that one.
Once again, Syosset not necessarily going away. 10-7 the score with time in this fourth quarter. 6 minutes to play. They're looking to get another one here. If they get a goal here, it would make things very interesting to get it to a 2-goal game on this possession with over 5 minutes to go. And that shot will ring wide by Nicholas Turner.
Right. Kelly Waxer again. Here we go.
The matchup of the day, it's been these two guys. Waxer looking around, now gets doubled.
Early slide by Manhasset. Have to recover the scramble.
Behind the net, Syosset has it. It's Matthew Antonacci.
Oh, here's a matchup that Syosset has against the short stick D-Midi. Looks like he'll try to dodge.
Great job defensively by Melkonian to eliminate that mismatch. Antonacci tried to attack it. He recognized it, but
Melkonian was able to get the top side and limit his shot.
20 seconds now on the shot clock. Nicholas Turner has it, moving to his left, stick in his left hand. Gets checked, goes down. Good physical play defensively there. It was Tommy Guerin.
Tommy Guerin and DiPietro doing a great job working with each other on a Syosset two-man game.
And now Syosset just has to eat it, so a critical possession right there that Syosset really needed. And Manhasset completely shuts it down, forces them to eat the violation.
Defense came of age on that play, right? I mean, you had all 6 guys that were out on the field. Melkonian and Guerin, Kelly, all of them contributed to that stance.
And you're showing now your coaches and yourselves that you can play with a lead here defensively and hold a lead. You're 3-3 on the early years, so trying to push above 500 with this one and showing that you can play elite defense down the stretch. They've looked as good as they have at all today.
That was a huge defensive look from Manhasset.
Well, let's see if they can put in what would likely be a dagger with another goal here.
And you got Brady's body language like, when is this clock going to run down? Right? At the goalie, you're wondering, can his game go any quicker?
With it is Leader. He sends it back, and now they swing it around. Shear had it, now gives over to Palumbo. Palumbo moving to his right. Marco Petroselli has it. Now right back up to Shear. It's going
Have to avoid those mistakes.
Turnover there, and you wish you were at least able to use that shot clock out.
The mental errors and the turnovers, you have to limit that in a game like this. Syosset playing a little aggressive defensively, a little more aggressive, down by 3 goals. But Manhasset did a good job of being patient up until that point.
Here's Cawley.
Cawley clears for Syosset.
And a timeout called.
After which Syosset takes the
So we'll take a look at the upcoming broadcast schedule here for Varsity Media. We hope you join us. Continue to join us. I know I'll be tuning in. Fairport, Cold Spring Harbor. That's going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Also tomorrow, 4:30, you get some baseball. Kellenberg at Holy Trinity. The next day, Spalding at St. Anthony's at noon. Then Manhasset at Cold Spring Harbor. Girls lacrosse. And then we turn to boys lacrosse for 5 p.m. Massapequa at East Islip. That's on Thursday. And then Cold Spring Harbor and Wantagh at 5 p.m. So there's no better way to spend your spring break than watching Varsity Media and watching what these kids are doing, spending their spring break.
So how about this? You're in your house, you're having other people do your landscaping. You're smart, and you stay at home and watch them lacrosse.
That's the best way. We've really given you the path to success this spring.
Yeah.
If you're a parent watching or just a human being watching, doesn't matter your role in it.
It's come a long way. All these guys, they're playing high school lacrosse. They're getting to have their games televised. I think I might have one still photograph from when I played. And so, so this is a big thing for them. And I can tell you that the kids love this. Absolutely love being on TV and being recognized and having their name called.
And speaking of photography, you could see right away there's at least 3 people taking pictures on the far sideline. So the coverage has come a long way, and it really is what's deserved because we've sat in those high school sports settings and with the teams, and you know how much work goes into it, not only during the season but in the off season while you also have school and you're trying to continue a social life that you should have in high school. It's a lot for the kids that play, and this coverage is what they deserve. And the games are great, too. It's a great product.
It doesn't get any better than today's game, that's for sure.
And the sun's starting to peek out.
The saying that the kids say today, it's all about the gram. Right? It's all about the Instagram, right?
There you go, Mike. With it now looking to cut this lead to 2 is Syosset. There's Accardo. He's been fairly quiet today as well. That shot's going to go up high.
So with Kelly covering Waxer, DiPietro has done a good job of really shutting down Accardo.
Here comes Waxer. He's rushing to the front of the crease, puts one towards the net, and it's going to go wide. Again, great job by Kelly. The only time he got beat today was on a similar inbound after the ball went out of bounds.
But Kelly only allowed the inside drive on that one, and Brody Balch did a good job of staying on his near pipe and forcing Waxer to shoot wide.
Trying to clear it up the field, and a big hit. Who but Will Cawley? Ball ends up out of bounds. And now Cawley heads to continue following Colin. And Manhasset's going to want to slow this down, and you have a 3-goal lead here with 2 minutes to play. You've got 50 on the shot clock. The minimal win here is you want to at least use all but at least 10 seconds of that time maybe.
So Syosset's sending two guys after the ball now.
And there's a goal that could close the door. Dylan Shear, another one. Great job, and that's the only outcome you could have, right, if you use a quick shot clock. It had to be a goal, and Shear makes sure it is.
And one of the drawbacks of being down and having to send 2 guys after the ball is leaving other people open, right?
Shear got a clean look. Good run up to the top of the crease. We'll take another look at it. That makes it an 11-7 game. Commanding 4-goal lead now for Manhasset. And now part of this is continuing to try and get Brady Balch as little numbers of goals allowed if you're the rest of the guys on this field. Syosset can't handle it. Good ground ball and a great clear by Manhasset.
With the ground ball.
They might have another chance here, but they won't get the shot on. Good run, though. Good clear, good ground ball, good defense, everything from Manhasset. It's all coming together late to try and close this game out.
Great ball movement by Manhasset, but in the situation, not necessary to kind of, take the shot there. I think they would be happy if they just ate the clock up a little bit and pulled it out.
With it is Antonacci. And he gets some claps as we approach the final minute for Manhasset with a 4-goal lead here at home. Ball on the ground, scooped up by Syosset.
1 minute in the game.
30 seconds on the shot clock. Syosset looking to put another one in.
Still Mr. Kelly, chasing after Brody Waxer.
You got a switch here for Waxer. And he's going to score, so he gets the switch, and a little bit of an awkward switch as it wasn't natural.
So you're not going to keep him off the scoreboard the whole game, right?
Yeah, you got the switch with Michael DiPietro. And
right. So Brody pulls up with DiPietro on him. I'm not sure if Brady Balch really got a good look at that. It looks like he may have been screened a little bit, but doesn't harm Manhasset's lead too badly. Down 3 with 46 seconds to go. Syosset, it's almost insurmountable at this point.
A big face-off for Manhasset if they could just win it. And try and get possession and run it out. Scooped up by Syosset, though. And obviously they have to push it. They have to get a shot off in the next 10 seconds or so if they want any shot at a comeback. Send it up top. There's a shot and a save made.
Brady Balch. Wondering why Manhasset's sending sliders at this point and trying to double early, leaving the shot open, but Brady Balch up to the task. I think if you're Coach Cromwell, I think you're super pleased with the way Brady has played.
Colin has it, dumps it down to the corner, and as the clock expires.
I think both teams answered a lot of questions about themselves today. Syosset, even though they're on the short end, I think they should be pleased with the way they played too. The questions about the aggressiveness and all that stuff, I think that's been answered.
11-8 the final as Manhasset bounces back from a loss here at home Saturday, follows it up with a win here against Syosset, and they start their spring break on a good note. These kids have the rest of the week off, and now they move to 4-3 on the season. Well, we thank you for joining us today, sticking with us from morning into afternoon for this game. Manhasset once again takes down Syosset 11-8. Thank our entire team here at Varsity Media for a great broadcast today. Everybody putting their best foot forth, as did the Manhasset boys and the Syosset boys. And their seasons continue. Long seasons ahead for those teams. We hope you join Varsity Media for this season. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one, and enjoy the rest of your week. And if you're off,